got a song to sing. 1, 2, 3.
Takes five, it's goodbye to A&M. Takes five, and we'll put over one more win. Takes five, Texas 5. 4 6 is that we love best. Give 'em hell, go Horns, go. It's goodbye to all the rest. Yay, orange, yay, white, yay, Longhorns, fight, fight, fight. Takes five, yay, takes five. Takes five, yay, takes five.
Like a knee.
Good morning, college football world. You are now listening to the 4th ever episode of the Big SEC podcast. We are your hosts, Izz Lee, my boy with the Texas hat over there, and me, of course, Rich Simpkins. So I unfortunately missed week 3. Izz Lee held it down. Thank God for Izz Lee. He held it down with a great episode. We are now coming back to you with the upcoming week. Last week's college football slate was pretty crazy. There's a few good games, but probably the biggest game of them all was Oregon-Penn State. We had Oregon taking down Penn State 30 Oregon, Penn State 24 in 2 overtimes. Dante Moore throwing for 248 yards. He is now the current Heisman favorite, as I've seen on many lists. Great game there. But looking around the college football world, there was plenty of good games. We had Ole Miss, LSU. Ole Miss taking down LSU 24-19. Trinidad Chambliss is a baller. Threw for 314 yards. Keywan Lacey was the rushing leader with 87 yards, and the receiving leader was Caden Lee with 70 yards. And then we had another banger, Alabama, Georgia. Alabama beating Georgia 24-21. Ty Simpson throwing for 276 yards. Chauncey Bowens 119 yards rushing. And Isaiah Horton was the receiving leader with 65 yards. Then we had Auburn and Texas A&M, another great game. Texas A&M beats them 16-10. Marcel Reed throws for 207 yards. Le'Veon Moss has a great game, rushed for 139 yards. And Casey Concepcion with 113 yards receiving. That was some big games. Ohio State beat Washington 24-6. Easy game for them. Indiana, Iowa, close one. 2015 IU with Fernando Mendoza throwing for 233 yards. He looks pretty good. Moving on to Tennessee and Mississippi State, another banger. We had 41-34 overtime. Joey Aguilar, 335 yards passing. He had a great game again. So looking around, Illinois, USC, banger again. Jaden Maviava threw for almost 400 yards. With an Illinois win 34-32. Notre Dame dominates Arkansas in the SEC 56-13. Looking around at the schedule, what else do we have? UCLA Northwestern, NU beats UCLA 17-14. They're not really a fun game to watch, but it was a game. Other than that, I don't remember any other games that stood out to me. Our teams did not play this week. They were on last week. They were on a bye. Texas was off, and so was Michigan. So we don't have really much to talk about. What's
that nigga's name?
Nico Meliava?
Conception. He birth control, bro. That is not his last name.
Contraception. Contraception is the correct term you were speaking of.
It's Concepcion, bro. What?
Whatever. Concepcion. I was close enough. Fuck.
That's. I'm sorry, bro. That killed me. I was like, "What's this man's name?"
Moving on, outside of the SEC and the Big Ten, there was a huge upset. Well, I don't know. All week I was hearing that Virginia could beat Florida State, and they ended up doing that with two overtimes, 46-38. Virginia, which had a legendary storm field. That was legendary.
Oh my gosh, I thought Squirrel White died.
It was legendary. They have no barrier.
I thought they killed Squirrel White.
It was insane.
I just saw everyone rush that man's body, and I'm like, he's on the ground. Is he
That would be absolutely scary as hell to see, bro.
If that's the reason they ban field storming, I would understand it.
I would get it.
That was insane.
That was insane.
So unsafe. Like I would get it.
It was very unsafe.
Did you see the video? Like if you watch the clip over, there was actually some Virginia Tech students, which shout out to the ones who actually did it because someone raised them right. They actually kind of like shielded off away from Squirrel so he didn't get trampled.
Yeah, because that
So if
was
you watch it back, they were
insane.
like, "Hey, like chill out." Like they made sure he was safe. The dude who flew the bird in the QB's face is
And
wild now.
Castellanos, that shit
In
was hilarious.
Castellanos' face, like
It
he
was
was kind of
hilarious.
tweaking. But I will say, I got to credit the fans on at least keeping that receiver safe because they did give like a little mini body shield so he didn't get ran over.
Yeah.
So I got to give them something. But that was that is probably the craziest storm.
It was
The craziest field
insane.
storm I've ever seen. Like
It was
ever.
insane.
Like that's got to be number one. That
And
was
the fact that there
nuts.
was no barrier, nothing, they were ready, bro. They were waiting to
Dude, the
storm that
ball
field.
hit the ground and they were at like the 50 in 0.5. Like half those students might want to try out next year.
They were sprinting on the
flying.
field.
They were
I would love to witness or be a part of something like that. That'd be insane. But again, shout out to Virginia. You got it done. Beat the top 10 team in the country. I don't even know when's the last time Virginia's ever done that, if they ever have. That's not a football school.
maybe back in like the old Virginia Tech days, maybe they got.
But Virginia, UVA, I don't remember the last time
They've
UVA.
never been a football school. We all know
They're
that
basketball. Shout out Kyle Guy.
and that's new. Like they just haven't been an athletic school.
No, not really.
At least when it comes to like the big three, they haven't
at all. It's usually Virginia Tech, but Virginia Tech has just been in no man's
Virginia
land.
Tech is awful.
And back in the day, they used to be a perennial program, which is sad to see now.
They had Mike Vick, then they had his brother Marcus, and then they had Tyrod Taylor. Like they used to have some hoopers,
some dogs. Like real
they
dogs.
used to be able to recruit Virginia black quarterbacks like it was nobody's bit. Like, oh, you 3 or 4 star and you in Virginia, you know to come to Tech.
Exactly, and now it's not like that at all. But
that program is crazy in the mud.
And hopefully, one day it can turn around just for the great of college football.
Competitive, man, because like they're just bad right now.
They're not good at all. And looking forward now to this week, we're on week 6 already.
It feels so crazy to be in week 6 of
it's crazy.
It feels like it just started.
And I forgot to mention, we are recording on a beautiful Thursday morning in Illinois. It's October, and it's still in the 70s. What is going on?
It was like almost 90 while I was at work on Tuesday, and I said, "What the hell is
what is going on?" I remember this time last year it was cold. I was wearing a dang near coat.
I was like, I would like to put on my Carhartts at some point,
Like, I feel like we're living in the West Coast right now. I don't know what's going on.
A global warming. Unless that's fake news to our viewers, and then it doesn't exist. Let me pander a little bit.
So now we're on week 6. Both of our teams are both in action. Michigan is playing Wisconsin at home, 11 a.m. on Fox. They are expected to, the line for that game is 17.5. The over under is 43.5. I'm banging the under on that game. But Texas,
I would pick with that current line. I would definitely pick Wisconsin to cover just because Michigan hasn't had the most vaunted defense.
I would as well. I would
take and it has nothing to do with me thinking Wisconsin's a competitive team or anything like that. Like Michigan's clearly better.
Oh yeah,
but it's just the offense hasn't really got rolling like you would think. Obviously, he's had flashes. I'm not going to say he's not playing well. But he's had his flashes. He's also had his struggles. But that's what you expect when you have an 18-year-old playing college football.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't expect. I don't
expect them to click on all cylinders and Bryce is firing for 400 yards. That's never been a Michigan identity, and it damn sure won't be this year.
And this year to me is like a Bryce. You get to learn, you get to grow, and then next year we need to bring it.
And my thing is, you get him for 3 years. So let's say you guys finish like top 15 outside the playoffs. Even his sophomore year, I don't need to see Heisman Bryce.
I don't need to see Heisman Bryce, but I do need to see a step.
Oh yeah. A step in the right direction where he's like, okay, he's one of the better quarterbacks in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Right now, to be honest, obviously I think Bryce has all the talent in the world. I'm not just gonna sit there and throw rocks at him because he's an 18-year-old. Like you see the flashes, he's gonna be great. He's gonna develop consistency. but like he's not one of the top Big Ten quarterbacks right now. But he will be.
And
Like,
next year
don't be
also
confused.
we're having some big body receivers come next year that should strengthen our wide receiver core.
You guys need a burner, man, because
We do.
everything. I feel like Michigan just goes and recruits 2 or 3 tight ends who are big bodies and 3 receivers who are possession guys. Go get a burner. Like there's speed somewhere in Michigan that they can pull. They need a fast guy to pull the top off.
And I'm trying to
see
think
that from that team.
you never really have like. I'm trying to think.
I think that would be a great philosophy change for Bryce because he throws a good deep ball, but
he does.
He
threw a great deep ball and he dropped it. Like Donovan McCulley dropped it.
Who's there to throw deep to consistently when they don't have a 4-4 guy out wide? Like it looks like everyone on that team runs 4-6s, and they're like, we're gonna run some mesh concepts, so we're gonna get you open in zone holes. Like there's not really a man beater on that team unless it's a one-on-one contested throw, and you just hope their big body guys come up with it. Like they need a speedster.
And the only one that like has shown me like, okay, he can make a play is Donovan McCulley. Like I remember playing Nebraska.
He's made plays and he hasn't made plays.
He has though. Like I remember
he has and then he hasn't. Like
there was a 2nd and 10, a bubble to Donovan McCulley. He had a 1-on-1 with somebody on the outside. He wins the matchup on a huge first down. There's flashes. Like I'm not saying he's that guy.
Yeah,
but
I think it would really benefit Michigan to step. Obviously, they're not afraid to dip into NIL because that's how they pulled Bryce from LSU. I think you got to. I know Michigan likes this is how we recruit thing, but they got to modernize it a little bit because, I mean, Harbaugh is one of the best defensive coaches we've ever seen in college football.
No. Jesse Minter was one of the best defensive coaches we saw.
You're not going to act like Harbaugh was not a defensive guy.
Jesse Minter is that guy.
If you think he wasn't in that room,
he was for sure.
Like, what are we doing? Like, Harbaugh
Jim is a great coach,
and he had defense in the NFL before he came. Like, that's a defensive coach. He's not an offensive guy.
No, he's not.
He's got to go look for a little bit more speed. Like, you don't need to bring all fast guys in, but they need to bring in at least 1 or 2 burners who can make flash plays, and even if they're freshmen, like speed carries.
Yeah, and the only like receiver I can think of that was good for us and that he transferred to Texas was Nico Collins. And he transferred. And I was so hurt when he transferred. Donovan Peoples-Jones was solid for us. We haven't had like that big name receiver. Last year, our number 1 was Roman Wilson.
I mean, there's obviously you had a Dunze, but he's not a burner.
We did not have a Dunze. He went to Washington.
Who was I thinking? Roman Wilson, yeah.
Yeah, Roman Wilson.
My bad. Yeah, I got that one confused. That's on me. But
I got his jersey right there.
There's just I can't think off the top of my head when you guys have ever had someone with any kind of elite speed ever. And like in college football, that's a game changer.
I'm trying to think. I can't.
I don't want them to change the philosophy on how they recruit because obviously you guys have a plan. You want big bodies who can still block the run game if someone breaks downfield.
Yeah.
But like even find a guy who's like 5'9", 5'10", all of 180 out of high school who's fast because you guys run the ball so much. Teams have to start loading the box, and that forces them to play man coverage. You guys have to get someone, in my opinion, who can really just take the top off because Bryce has crazy throw power. He throws an accurate deep ball. Like I just think one speedster, he doesn't have to flash 8 times a game, but even the 2 or 3 times, like that can completely change the offense because now it's like if we load the box, now we're leaving a corner one-on-one with a guy who runs a 4-4 or a high 4-3. Like there's got to be someone who can do that and beat the man coverage. Like even on a drag, if you have a guy who runs a 4.39 or a 4.42 out of high school, he's going to separate immediately because people are so worried about Michigan running the ball. Like I just think that would open up that offense so much. But obviously that's a future thing. But it's good. It's what we're here for. You're the Michigan fan. I'm the Texas fan. We talk about our team's deficiencies. And like, if you guys got a burner with the way you guys can run the ball and have consistently ran the ball for like almost the last decade, oh my gosh, that would add such a nice element for Bryce to have. Cause he knows, okay, I've got press coverage or man coverage. I know who I can look at. Like I got a guy I know can just run past somebody.
Exactly.
He hasn't had that in forever.
And we thought that was Samaj Morgan, but like I haven't seen it.
Samaj just hasn't shown up yet, man. And it's not like you just throw him out the window. You want to Hope he keeps developing, but you got to add somebody with who can burn, man. Every team needs a burner.
I agree. And then looking at the SEC, we have Texas at Florida. Texas is only expected to win. It's a 6.5 line. Over unders 41.5. I honestly would take the over there.
You must
6.5. I feel like
50.
Texas covers.
Listen, you must think Texas is scoring 50 points if you think the over's hitting.
For 41, I don't know.
Because listen, that Texas defense, as bad as the offense has been at times, and we just now started clicking up 2 weeks ago, that defense is one of the top 3 in the country.
Vegas thinks it's going to be close. 6.5.
They also get 3.5 for being at home. So if it was
That's
a Texas
true.
game, we're up. It's a 10-point spread.
Says tickets as low as $95. So
That's
if you're in
because no one wants
Gainesville,
to go watch the Gators play right now.
nobody. DJ Lagway has been
Napier's
terrible.
on his way out. They're just holding on at the moment.
And looking at week 6,
they haven't fired him.
There's no really. That's the best. No, Vanderbilt, Alabama is the best game in the
best
SEC
game.
that week.
Yeah, that's the best game.
But we got Mississippi at Texas A&M. Texas A&M 14.5 line.
Right?
What's up?
Is that the state game?
Texas A&M.
Yeah. Is that Mississippi State?
Yeah, against Mississippi State at Kyle Field. Texas A&M.
If you think A&M's on an upset alert, you haven't been watching Mississippi State football.
Vegas got them at 14.5. The over/under is 55.5. But I agree because Mississippi State's solid.
Yeah, if you have not been watching Mississippi State play,
they're
football,
solid.
Especially with Auburn doesn't have an offense, and they only won that game by 6 points.
By 6 points.
And
Jackson
Mississippi State just went into Knoxville and put up 34 on Tennessee, who was a talented team.
Very talented team right there, too.
That Mississippi State team is good, and A&M better bring their full guns.
I feel like they're kind of flying under the radar. They're flying under the radar for sure.
I mean, that Mississippi State team is not a bad team, dude.
No, I agree with you.
I'm worried about Texas playing them later at home. Like, Mississippi State has talent this year.
They do. They're a scary team to play. I would say.
No one wants to see Mississippi State on that schedule. So A&M's got to bring it because scoring 16 points against that Mississippi State offense, I'm sorry, that ain't going to work.
No.
It's just not going to work.
And then we got Kent State. Oh, my goodness. Kent State at Oklahoma. That's a blowout.
Yeah, that would be what? Hawkins? What's his name? Hawkins?
The quarterback for Oklahoma?
Yeah, because Mateer's out. I think it's Hawkins.
Yeah, Mateer.
Last year.
Mateer might be done for the season, though.
Nah, he'll be back he'll probably be back after Red River. Like, there's no way that kid's a Heisman front runner, and he's their own
with a thumb injury, with a thumb surgery on his throwing hand.
He broke the bone in his hand. It's not necessarily a thumb.
I thought I read thumb.
Oh, did they change it? Because at first it was just a hand, like a regular hand injury. They didn't specify the thumb. Because I don't stay up on Oklahoma too much. I knew Mateer was hurt.
And then he has to get surgery. So they didn't know if
he got surgery last week already during the bye.
I believe so.
He's probably 2 or 3 weeks away. Like, he'll play soon. I think
you would know best because you destroyed your hand.
if they bring out Mateer at Red River, I think that's just.
I got Oklahoma winning that game.
Oklahoma's not winning that game.
Oklahoma's beating Texas.
They're not going to win with Mateer if he's 50% because you know how long that's his throwing hand. Like, you can't get the ball.
No.
They're just going to have to try to run the ball, and Texas has one of the top, I believe, like 5 run defenses, if not top 3 in the entire nation. Like, they're going to need a healthy quarterback with the throwing hand. Starting Mateer in Red River would be the worst thing they could do if he's not ready.
Yeah, if he's not ready, then don't start.
Like, there's no way because
they're the 5th team in the country right now. Like,
but one loss to Texas doesn't derail your season.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
Like, if it was just the in the new format, like if it was just the top 4, then sure, if he's almost ready, then you play him. But that one loss does not derail Oklahoma's whole season. Because, like, after that, you got to think they still got to play. They play South Carolina, and then they play Ole Miss, and then Tennessee, and then Bama, and then Missouri.
Their schedule is insane.
So you could drop that Texas game if Mateer's not ready and hold it back a week.
Yeah,
like,
that is
true. There's just no way he should play Red River. As much as I don't like Oklahoma, and I want to see them just crumble, like, that's just a bad decision. You can lose that Texas game, and you can lose another game in that schedule. Honestly, if you finish the year strong and still make the playoff, like, that'd be a terrible decision. For them to play Mateer.
I agree. Okay, so to finish out the SEC slate, there's only 5 games, I believe.
Yeah,
The
I got
to
to
finish
pull
it
it up.
to finish it out is Kentucky at Georgia with UGA favored at 20.5, 48.5
I don't think it's going to be
over.
20 and a half.
You don't think so? You think Kentucky covers?
I think Kentucky's good enough at running the ball that they can cover that spread. Obviously, we saw they look awful against South Carolina, but that's more on their defense than their offense. I know they only scored 13 points, but
Yeah.
Kentucky's a control the ball kind of team. Like they run the ball well. They do have a capable quarterback. I don't think he's great, but I don't unless Georgia just really just we've seen Georgia show up in some of these games after losses and like they win games, but we've seen their offense struggle at times. We've seen them not play clean games the last couple of years with
Yeah.
Kirby Smart. I mean, they put up 40 twice this year, but I don't know if 20 and a half is something I'd put almost on any SEC team at this point because your worst SEC team is still a pretty talented team.
Yeah, which is insane.
I just don't know looking at the SEC and team buildups if I'm taking 20 and a half in a SEC first SEC matchup at this point in the year because no one's really jumped off the page in college football to me. Not even Oregon didn't even jump off the page for me.
Neither, yeah, me neither.
Like
And
no one
like,
separated themselves enough to where if you're playing an
what about
SEC schedule, I'm giving you 21 points.
that is true. And I feel like the best team in the country, like the best team looking like look wise, watching them, you're like, oh shit, is Miami. No,
Yeah.
they're not in the big era of the SEC, but I do really like Miami.
And if I'm correct, Miami has a pretty big game this week. They play Florida State.
That's a huge game. I feel like they beat Florida State, honestly.
In Tallahassee, well, listen, Castellanos is a guy where, yeah, they lost to Virginia, but Virginia has one of the best offenses in the country. You can look
They
it
have
up.
one of the best rushing attacks in the country.
Yeah, they have one of the best offenses in the country. Like, that's a hard game to play on the road. Obviously, you don't expect them to lose, but Florida State in Tallahassee, Castellanos is a guy who has talked a lot of shit. And he's almost backed it up at every turn. Like, obviously, losing to Virginia is not ideal, but he said
And that hurt them a lot because they went from 8 to 18.
And then Virginia jumped up to like 23 or 24.
They're 24 in the country now.
So, I mean, I don't expect Miami to just go in there and steamroll.
And you know what's crazy? Like, I feel like
they
Virginia
beat
could
a
lose.
bad Notre Dame team. I'm sorry. They beat a bad Notre Dame team.
And I feel like Virginia could lose this weekend. Like how Syracuse beat Clemson, and then the following week, they get destroyed by Duke.
They got killed.
I was so mad. They screwed my parlay.
So I wouldn't exactly look at Miami walking in there, especially in a rivalry game.
And they're only favored by 4.5. It's at Doak Campbell. It's in Tallahassee. So it's going to be a game. And yes, that's not Big Ten or ACC. I mean, Big Ten or ACC. That's not Big Ten or SEC.
There's marquee matchups. We'd be crazy not to cover some of that.
Exactly. But like, we're going to go back to our main frame here. Big Ten. Looking at the Big Ten, like we said, we have Wisconsin.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of big matchups inside the conference. So, like, when we get weeks like this, we're going to have to branch off just a little bit.
Because, like, in the Big Ten, there's not really any big game. You got Illinois at
the best
Purdue.
Game? Washington, Maryland is the best Big Ten game this week?
I would say so. I would say that. Or
Michigan
State. Michigan State and Nebraska might be a good game. I don't know. Minnesota,
looking at it, like, off the schedule, yeah, there's no way Washington, Maryland's not the best Big Ten game.
And that's the closest by the spread for Vegas.
And if you go to the SEC, obviously we've got Vandy, Alabama. Alabama's going to be out for blood because, boy, did they get embarrassed last year.
That was crazy.
They put Vandy on the map.
That put Vandy on the map.
Put Vandy on the map.
And thinking about Vanderbilt being good at football is like, what?
Crazy, right?
Like, what? Even when they're good at basketball, I'm like, what? They're not a sports school to me.
But there's just no way the way Ty Simpson is playing, and this will be week 2, Jam Miller. He knocked the rest off last week because he came back for his first action. As much as I would love Vanderbilt to win that game, Ty Simpson and that offense is clicking too well for me to not pick Bama.
Which is fair. And
Ty Simpson is hooping.
Yeah, he's playing very well right now. And even when they lost to Florida State, I thought he played decent. He just he
played a decent game. It's just they couldn't stop him.
Yeah. That was it to me. And I wanted to get your thoughts. I wanted to know your prediction for your Texas Longhorns this weekend. I want to score and what you see coming.
Texas, Florida, 30. I'm going to take Texas 31-13.
31-13?
Yeah, and the reason I say this is because I know from the outside looking in, everyone's going to say it's Sam Houston. But like me, I watch every second of every Texas game.
Yeah, you do.
The defense has been firing all year. Florida hasn't had a very good offense. I mean, outside of playing Long Island, they've scored 18 points in a loss to USF, 10 points in a loss to LSU, 7 points in a loss to Miami. Like, that offense is not scary because DJ Lagway is playing terrible.
Terrible. I'm shocked they haven't sat the kid.
He's a 5-star sophomore. You're not sitting DJ Lagway.
Bro, he's played so bad.
You can't sit DJ.
I remember watching him against Miami, and I'm like, dude.
But so, like, Florida's offense doesn't jump off the page enough, and they haven't outside of playing Long Island, which, come on now. Yeah, but like that offense hasn't jumped off the page enough for me to even think they're a threat to Texas defense. Like, Texas defense is that. Like, that's a championship defense that we have in Austin. And then, obviously, you played Sam Houston. The thing is, I don't care about the points. I don't care about the box score. And, Arch going 18 for 21 with like 4 touchdowns in the first half. It was the fact that for the first time all year, no matter who the opponent is, those guys finally established a rhythm. And you played basketball. I played football and ran track in college. In any sport, catching a rhythm changes everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you're playing. You could have been when you were at Lincoln playing basketball, you could have played the junior high team, and been struggling and be like, we're playing an 8th grade team. But if you catch a rhythm, that translates.
When you catch a rhythm, it's different.
Like in all team sports or individual sports, you could call it golf or baseball. When you hit a rhythm, you don't care who you're playing.
Yeah,
it builds that confidence in an athlete, and that's like part of the sports psychology. Texas was playing on time for the first time. Wingo and Arch finally had the connection that we were looking for. Like, I didn't care if they played a JFL team. They were playing on-time offense for the first time all year, and they got a whole bye week to rest their bodies and continue that rhythm in practice. That's huge for Texas moving forward if they want to make something happen at this whole season. So I think that offense stays where it's at. The running back, CJ Baxter, I think is still questionable. But the running backs, we had a slew of backs who played. They were all catching a rhythm. The offense, obviously, we're more talented than Sam Houston. But it was a rhythmic passing game. Arch Manning was making good reads. He didn't make errant throws. He didn't make any mistakes. We saw the first clean game from Texas. And like I said, I don't care who you play. When you play a clean game and you can throw a slant route off of your 3 steps and your guy is there and you hit him in the chest, or you could throw a deep post and you hit a guy for a touchdown like he did with Wingo and establish a connection, you do not give a shit who you're playing.
That's true. And people are killing Arch. Boy, people are killing Arch.
And that's what you need. But that's what he needed. Arch had the perfect game to make him dangerous.
Yeah, he had that swagger back. He had his swagger back.
A swagger Arch is a dangerous player because he can play football, man. Arch is not just, everyone wants to say, 3-star quarterback, 5-star name. Arch can play the game of football. Point blank, period. The kid can play. So them getting that rhythm, like I said, don't care what the name is. You could slap Illinois School of the Blind on that. They played in a rhythm. And that's something we didn't have all season. So if they continue that rhythm, which I think they will, because there's too much talent not to. Sark's too good of a coach. Arch has too much of a mentality of going out to win and prove something, that now that he's got his level of confidence back that he was clearly lacking until that point, I don't see Florida that -6.5. I don't even see it being. I think we go in and kick the shit out of Florida.
I agree.
I think Texas is back on the map, and people are finally going to take the step back from the overreactions where the kid obviously was pressing too much and be like, okay, this is what we expected. I think Texas puts themselves back on the map this week.
Okay. I like that. I see Texas winning that game too by at least 2 touchdowns. At least.
Yeah, Florida has just looked bad.
Not good at all.
They looked bad. This is not like they're only Florida by name at this moment. That is
That,
not a
oh well,
Florida
they
Gator
have been
football
for a
team
while
where
now, but
yeah, that's not a Florida Gator team that we grew up with
no,
whatsoever.
we got blessed growing up with those Florida Gators.
Yeah, like those that's not the team of old. Like Florida, you hear
And they
Florida
haven't been
Gators,
for a long time now.
you kind of just shrug your shoulders now. So I don't think Florida's that big of a threat. Only obviously the offense could struggle, and our defense is playing so well, and that Florida team and DJ have been so poor. I don't think it matters. We could score 10 points and win the game.
That's why I
That
was shocked
offense
the
has been
line was so
terrible.
close. It was like
That
6.5 a
yes,
touchdown.
that team has been awful offensively. Where I do not think it matters who they put at quarterback, who they throw the ball to. That is a terrible offense.
That's fine. I agree with you, Izzy. I definitely do. I just see Texas win that game, dominating that game, and like that Sam Houston game was a definition of a tune-up game. Like y'all needed that.
And like
Y'all
we
needed
had
that.
two tune-up games previously and didn't show up. So to finally show up and look like the team people thought we were in the preseason is such a good sign.
Yeah, and
Such
I
a
don't
good
care.
sign
And
for
like
that
you said,
team.
I don't care if it's Sam Houston or not. Teams need that.
You have to have it. Have to have it.
And like now we're gonna move on to Michigan, Wisconsin. Like I've been thinking about this game. I just think it's gonna be a 24-14 game in favor of Michigan. I believe it's our homecoming game, 11 a.m. kickoff at Fox in Michigan. Wisconsin is not a good football team this year. It's sad to see. They're usually a good team.
I mean, they got dominated by Maryland.
By Maryland, and like again, shout out Corey Walker. Like I know him; he plays for Wisconsin. No diss to Wisconsin. It's a good program overall, but right now they're just not in a good spot.
Just at this moment, they just don't have like Wisconsin used to bring some fear into you because you knew they were going to run the ball down your
Down your
throat.
fucking throat. And if you
Like,
played at Camp Randall, you made it even
yeah,
scarier.
like you knew when you played a Wisconsin team, they're going to control the ball and they're running for 200 on your ass.
Like when Jonathan Taylor was there, my lord, he was a nightmare. He was a nightmare.
Melvin Gordon was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, like they've had good teams. Like this just these last couple years, and with Fick, it's just
That's
not
that's
looking
not the
good.
Wisconsin team where you're like they're borderline top 25. Like they just don't
No,
have that right now. And
they
like you
don't.
said, it's no disrespect because obviously we're in the Midwest. We've seen a lot of Wisconsin football. Like let's keep it
Yeah,
beat. We're almost forced to watch Iowa and Wisconsin and those guys.
yeah.
But like they just don't have that same identity as they have in years past where we're like, hey, if they shorten this game up, watch out for Wisconsin. Like it's that we don't have that same feel from them right now. So
And I feel like
I don't
Nebraska
think
is
Wisconsin can
better
keep it
than
close.
Nebraska is better than this Wisconsin team, and we
Oh, by
beat
far, absolutely.
and we beat them at Nebraska, which was a great game.
That
I
was
feel
a
like
very good game.
it shouldn't have been as close as it was, in my opinion. But Dylan Raiola, like watching the game, it seemed like Dylan Raiola was getting pressured every single snap.
And the kid was making plays.
TJ Guy, Barham, like excuse me, not Barham, but yeah, all those guys on the edge, we were getting to him, and he still threw for over 300 yards.
That's me. Like I know people like to clown Raiola because he literally does all the Mahomes mannerisms.
He's a good quarterback.
When you look past some stuff you might not like about him, he's still a 19, 20-year-old kid. Like he grew up on Mahomes. Like I get it.
That's his idol. Like,
Is it a little bit of it? Sure, it's a little corny, but like when it comes down to putting a quarterback on the field, you can win a lot of games with Raiola.
Yeah, he's pretty solid.
You can win a lot of games with Raiola. That kid can play, man.
I feel like if he was at like a USC or something, we'd be talking about him way differently.
Yeah, like you can win a lot of games with a kid like Raiola. He plays good ball, man. He's a good improviser. You can literally, obviously, when you watch his game, because you can end his mannerisms. The mannerisms might be a little far like weird, but you can tell he watched Mahomes.
Yeah,
like he's very good improviser. He might
he
not
can
be
move
the
in
most
the pocket.
yeah, he might not be the most mobile guy, but like that's when he sneaks up on you. He does have an athleticism and mobility to him. I think Raiola is still a good quarterback, man.
I do
Like
too.
if he jumped off the page as a junior next year, I would not be surprised whatsoever. Like
Me
that
neither.
wouldn't. I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Like he's shown it for 2 years. And
I agree with you, and like some people were saying, like he's nothing close to a Dante Moore from Oregon. I don't know. I feel like if Raiola was on that Oregon team,
Raiola played with Oregon, they would still have the same record.
Yeah, and he'd probably be a Heisman favorite as well.
He'd be like Nebraska is Nebraska in name still. Are they
And
better than they were? Surely, but like if you put him at Nebraska or surround him with SEC talent, like the kid at Ole Miss, he would be doing the same stuff. I'm
Trinidad
sorry.
Chambliss.
Chambliss and Raiola would be doing the same thing right now. I'm sorry. Dylan's a good quarterback, guys.
I think he's solid.
You don't have to like the kid. He's a good quarterback.
Yeah, I think he's solid. Like I think he's pretty good.
He's a good quarterback.
But going back on track here, we got, like I said, I have Michigan 24-14. I feel like it's gonna be a low scoring game. It's gonna be a rough game.
That's how I feel too. I don't see Bryce jumping off the page and throwing for 300.
I don't either. Crazy. And like at Nebraska, we were struggling to catch the ball. There was 2 instances where Bryce had a deep ball to Donovan McCulley. McCulley couldn't catch up to the ball. He dropped it. And then we had a trick play where Samaj underthrew the ball to Donovan McCulley. If we didn't have Justice there, that would have been scary. Justice has been playing very well. I think
if Justice wasn't on that field, you guys lose that game, point blank.
And Justice is, I think he's the Big Ten leader in rushing. He's been playing really well.
Yeah, if Justice doesn't transfer, you guys lose that game, man.
And speaking of Justice, for this week's game, I feel like everybody should hammer this. You got to put a 2 touchdowns for Justice Haynes, and then first touchdown score. The odds on that is plus 500. You put 20 down, you get $100. I feel like that is an easy bet. Justice Haynes he scored 2 touchdowns in just about every game. First touchdown score. Bryce did have it was a great play call. Bryce had a wide open middle of the field for a touchdown.
Oh my God, dude, I was wide open.
That was a beautiful play call by Chip Lindsey, the quarterback draw there. I loved that. Chip Lindsey had a way better game.
He's finally letting Bryce run.
Exactly.
Like we were acting like Bryce isn't sure he doesn't. We know he doesn't want to be clearly Bryce doesn't want to be a runner in college, and that's fine. No. That's not his thing. He's not the biggest dual threat guy, but to just fully kind of hamper his legs like you guys did at the start of the year was crazy.
Against Oklahoma specifically.
I'm like, he can move. What are we talking about? Bryce can move. He can open up an offense with his legs.
If Chip Lindsey would have called the Oklahoma game like he called the Nebraska game, I feel
you guys might have taken a dub.
That game would have been much different, it pains me. But around the Big Ten, you got number 22 Illinois. They bounced back. Oh my God! After that Indiana game, dog, I thought they were done.
Bouncing. You want to talk about one of, and I don't say this for effect. That is probably the best bounce back game from a team who's lost something like that when you have something to prove I've seen in the last decade, 15 years since I was.
Because they got destroyed at Indiana.
Because losing that game to Indiana like that, we could have went back to the Illinois of old.
Yeah,
that we grew up with.
There's one.
We're from Illinois, by the way, people. In case this is your first episode, so this is the U of I. We're not fans, but this is the U of I we grew up seeing and watching. We still watch U of I football. Any old U of I team, after getting beat 63-10, when you think they have any kind of hype, they would have went into the next week and lost by 30.
Yeah, and they battled with USC. That was a battle.
Granted, they have Ohio State in 2 weeks, so granted their playoff hopes might be dead in the dirt after that game, but that's still a culture shift for that U of I team. It shows you they believe in that head coach.
Yeah.
They believe in what he says every week.
And Brad's doing a great job there. I think
He's doing a fantastic job with that program. That's a bad loss to have on your docket, but that's not the U of I me and you are used to.
I grew up remembering one great Illinois team with Juice Williams.
They weren't even great.
No. And a couple the last few years they've been trending upward.
Yeah, he's the man for the job in Illinois. So to see them bounce back, obviously, I don't have any hometown bias, but I do kind of like when I at least get to see the home state team be competitive.
Screw them.
That's because you're a Michigan guy. I'm not. I'm down in Texas, so I don't care. But I like to see U of I be competitive. They don't need to win nothing big, but see them be competitive is nice for me.
And it was also cool seeing Big Noon going there. And being in Champaign.
Man, they were in Champaign. When have we ever seen that?
That's what I was like. I've never known them to go to Champaign.
So, like, obviously, Big Ten, SEC podcast, we have to deep dive into that. But that's a huge bounce back. I think they kill Purdue. Like, that gives you a lot of confidence to beat USC. That's USC.
Yeah, and that USC team's good.
Like, that's USC.
There's not any bums.
And it's crazy that game was even that close because at the beginning of the game, Illinois was beating their ass.
And I remember you talking about it.
Illinois came out the gate and was physically just dominating.
They just had a few mistakes. They just had a few, those 2 fumbles.
The 2 fumbles is why that game probably wasn't won by 20.
Yeah.
Because, dude, that first half, like, Illinois came out the gate and just looked like if they brought that team to Indiana, they might have won that game.
Yeah.
The team we saw this past weekend against USC, that first half was unbelievable. They were just physically killing them. The physicality level looked like a Big Ten SEC top echelon team. Like, they played physical football. And it was honestly, it was fun to watch that game. I text my buddy Mitch, who's a huge U of I team, and on the prediction when I did the solo show last week, I said Illinois is getting killed.
I thought they were too.
I texted him after like their first 2 or 3 drives, and I said, I would like to apologize for all the nasty things I said about Illinois this morning in the podcast because
they showed up.
They bounced back, man.
And I didn't get to watch the Indiana-Illinois game, so I don't know how they started the game.
Hey,
but
brother.
Somebody that's a huge Illinois fan told me that they started very slow. Indiana came out hot. When I looked at the score, I said, what?
They never started. U of I never started.
63 points.
Listen, started out slow. That would suggest that you at least put the car in neutral and we're going down a hill.
They started in reverse, huh?
They were in reverse, punching the gas in reverse. That team never got started, dog.
I looked up at the score and I said 63-10.
They got
destroyed.
But yeah, completely different team 7 days apart. It was unbelievable what I saw.
And looking at the line, Illinois is only favored by 9.5. Over unders 55.5.
If they bring that team that they had last week against USC, they're going to smash Purdue.
And it doesn't even matter that it's in West Lafayette. I feel like
Purdue. Who gives a shit about going to West Lafayette?
Unless it's a basketball game.
Yeah. For football, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll see you and your 5,000 fans there.
And then we got number 7 Penn State. They're at UCLA. That's a blowout.
The Penn State's going to bounce back and kill UCLA.
And kill them. They're going to be pissed about last weekend losing at a whiteout to Oregon.
That UCLA team is
which I'll give Penn State credit. They fought back. I thought after Oregon scored the second time it was 14-3. I thought it was over.
I thought it was a barn blazer. Oregon was running up the score.
They were. And, I thought after it was 14-3, I'm like, oh, it's over with. Drew Aller came back, threw a bomb, they score, and I was like, okay, they get a stop. They score again, and then they go into 2 overtimes. I'm like, okay, Penn State showed heart, but
that's game of the year so far.
James Franklin can't win a big game. He's 2-14.
You know who I would compare James Franklin to?
Who?
For all my guys who watch the NFL, and I hate to say this, is he college football Mike Tomlin?
Can't win the big game.
But you
can't even. Mike Tomlin has a Super Bowl.
But that was 12 years ago.
Okay, but James Franklin hasn't won anything.
But also, that's 12 years ago, and he took over a Bill Cowher team with Big Ben.
With a Hall of Fame quarterback.
So it's and I love Mike Tomlin to death. I think he is one of the best coaches of the NFL because he's been handicapped by ownership on drafting and signing where they're not getting the players they need.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the parallels with James Franklin and Penn State is literally Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. If obviously we can rag on James Franklin all you want for not winning the big games, but no one can look me in the face and tell me that James Franklin isn't a damn good ball coach.
He is. His record says it.
Penn State, they don't get the flashy Oregon speedsters. They don't get the Ohio State recruiting classes. It just doesn't happen. So I don't think they're the world's most.
State,
I don't think they're the world's most talented team.
Penn State has some of the best backfields that we see in the Big Ten.
But
they have solid quarterbacks. They have Kate,
but they're never bringing in the over the top guy that wins. You have to have.
But did we have that when we won our Natty? JJ was a 5-star.
You also had 17,000 draft picks on defense playing.
We did, and an offense. We had Joe Moore winning offensive lines. We had good backs. We had a whole team.
Yeah, like James Franklin's never had that caliber of team. But obviously you ding him for not winning the big games, but people are calling for that man's job, and I'm like, who do you go get?
That's true. I don't see who replaces him.
It's the same thing as Mike Tomlin. The Steelers fans have been bitching for 10 years about fire Mike Tomlin. For who?
And has he had a losing record? No.
Never.
And neither has James Franklin.
You can't get rid of James. So, I think Penn State beats the brakes off UCLA. I think they're still a playoff team.
Yeah.
Point blank period. They're still a playoff team.
And again, last year, they were one game away from a national title game?
But you don't have all the Penn State fans and just regular football fans, the casual fans. You do not break that up. You trust that guy.
It's like Jim Harbaugh. People were calling for his job.
And then he broke the glass ceiling and finally made it.
Finally.
But without a clear successor, unless there's one of those guys who is an offensive coordinator who clearly is getting the shine, who deserves a job. I can't name you a name right now off the carousel for coaches unless one of these other guys gets fired from an awful season or loses or just wants to leave. There's no name that can come into Penn State and do a better job than James Franklin.
I feel like in the next few years, in the next 3-4 years, Arbuckle could be that.
But he's not there yet. There's no one in the coaching carousel because you're not poaching a Sarkisian from Texas.
Nope.
You're not poaching Lincoln Riley from USC.
Nope.
You're not going to get a Ryan Day from Ohio State. You're damn sure not going to get Patricia, and he's a defensive guy already, and you need offensive help.
Yeah.
Because their defense is fine. Do you fire James Franklin and hope that you can poach Chip Kelly?
Not even. I think the only person that would fit Penn State to be an offensive mind is Arbuckle from Oklahoma.
And he's not leaving anytime soon.
No, because he's not ready to be a head coach.
He's not. There's just too much. The risk reward is too far in one direction at Penn State.
But how much of it? How much more time do you give James Franklin to break this ceiling? As much as he needs.
How many natties did Paterno win at Penn State? One. And he was there for how many years?
And they treated him like a god.
And he was there for how long?
A very long time.
You don't fire college coaches that have skin in the college game. James Franklin does not want to be a head coach in the NFL.
And he's established a culture at Penn State.
Yes, there's a culture at Penn State. You know what they're going to do. You know who they are. You know they're going to be there every single year.
And they're respectable. Nobody's saying they're bad.
We don't say Penn State's going to win a natty, but we also don't say they're going to go 3-10.
Yeah.
3-9. That's just, you cannot.
They beat the people. They always beat the people they're supposed to beat. It's just James when it comes to Michigan, Ohio, and now it's going to be Oregon, and now you got USC. Now you got those teams like that.
James Franklin will always give you a chance to be a contender, point blank, period. And when you look at the era of college football we're in with NIL and all that, you don't let go of a guy who will always put you in contention for a national championship for someone who's unproven. So
because look at the team you got now. You have some of the best players in the big. You got Singleton, and you got Katron Allen. You got Drew Aller.
Also, where the hell was Singleton?
Yeah, he was. Katron Allen played way better than him.
At some point, you got to put it on your superstars as well. It can't just be a coach.
And Drew Aller didn't play that well up until the fourth.
He can coach your guys miraculously, but at the end of the day, if your superstars, your top two offensive players, aren't being superstars, what do you want from the coach? He can't go out there and run the ball for them.
And coming from somebody that coaches basketball, it's like I've told my players before, it's like, I can't go out there for you. A coach can only do so much. And when your star players aren't there, it's like coaches are looking like, I don't know what to tell you.
Texas fan, I know everyone bagged on Sark for our inability in the red zone. But at the end of the day, especially that Washington game, I can't make Quinn Ewers against Washington throw to the pylon when we have an open guy.
Yeah. And I
I
remember
can't
Sark even
make my
saying, like,
offensive
people
line
keep
block
saying
at the 1
Texas
yard
is
line against
bad.
Ohio State.
People say Texas is bad in the red zone, but like the stats show that they're actually not that bad in the red zone.
That's because people want to we have had some struggles in moments. That doesn't take away from the totality of things. People, your casual football fan is very singular in their looks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, Sark might not be the guy. His red zone offense is good. It's great.
Yeah.
It has been since he got here. Just because we don't make the play against the other top 3, top 2 teams in the country doesn't
And
mean
you guys are one game away from a natty.
We've been 2 red zone plays away, two red zone possessions away from playing in back-to-back natties.
Yeah.
And
which is crazy to think about.
And think about where Texas was before we got Sark.
Exactly.
And the irrational Texas fan wants to burn him at the stake. Are we kidding? We were dealing with Charlie Strong and Tom Herman. And you want to bitch about a guy who has back-to-back Final Fours? Are we serious?
Are we serious?
I know the standard's high at Texas because it's the University of Texas.
At the end of that episode there, Izzy talking about Texas there. Just to finish his thought, yes, Texas, perennial program. They have been in the gutter for a while now. But they're back a few red zones away from 2 back-to-back national title appearances, but it didn't happen. And I also want to apologize for the ending of that episode. We had a work emergency phone call that had to be taken. So that's why that episode was cut short. But yes, just to recap, talking about the Big Ten SEC, that is not too many big games. SEC does have Vanderbilt and Alabama, which would be a banger of a game. And also to remind you to bang the 2 touchdowns for Justin Haynes for Michigan against Wisconsin this weekend at 11 a.m. 2 touchdowns for Justice Haynes in the first touchdown score. Odds are plus 500. So if you go ahead and put a little $20 on that, I think you win $100. But other than that, we appreciate everybody that's tuned in, that has listened, subscribed to our channel. We appreciate it greatly. We'll be back next week with another episode of the Big SEC Show. Thank you, guys.
I think we got a song to sing.